struggling single dad sees two unwanted bride crying alone at station, then marries her that day. It was just another exhausting day for Lucas. The kind of day that made him wonder if he was doing enough for his daughter, Lily. His mind was consumed with the constant juggling act of work, parenting, and the never-ending search for balance. As a single dad, the weight of responsibility was often overwhelming, but his love for Lily kept him going. Lucas had just wrapped up a long shift at a local diner, and he was on his way to pick up Lily from her grandmother's house. As he walked through the busy train station on his way to the car, he caught sight of something unusual: a woman, standing alone on the platform, her wedding dress crumpled and torn at the edges. She looked out of place, like a fragile flower wilted by the harshness of the world. Her eyes were swollen from crying, and the sadness was palpable in the air around her. The station buzzed with commuters rushing past, oblivious to her despair. Lucas couldn't ignore the image of this woman in distress. What struck him the most wasn't just the sight of her in a wedding dress, it was the look in her eyes. There was an emptiness there, a feeling of abandonment so deep it made his heart ache. He hesitated for a moment. He had his own struggles, his own burdens to carry. But as a father, he couldn't help but feel the weight of her loneliness. Something inside him stirred a sense of duty, a call to action. Without thinking, Lucas made his way over to her. "Hey, are you all right?" he asked gently, his voice laced with concern. The woman looked up, startled, as if she hadn't noticed anyone around her. Her eyes flickered with recognition of his presence, but she quickly wiped away her tears, trying to compose herself. I'm fine," she said, though her voice trembled. Lucas wasn't convinced. "No, you're not. What happened?" The woman paused for a moment, her gaze falling to the ground. "I was supposed to marry today. I waited for hours at the altar, but he didn't show up. He just left me. No explanation. No warning. Just disappeared." The words hit Lucas harder than he expected. As a single father, he understood rejection in a way that most people couldn't fathom. But he also knew the importance of kindness in times of need. "I'm sorry," he said, sitting next to her on the bench. "That's awful. You don't deserve that." She let out a shaky breath. "I don't even know what to do now. I'm too unwanted for him, too unworthy." Her words broke Lucas's heart. He thought of Lily and how much he loved her. He couldn't imagine abandoning her for anything. And yet, here was a woman, full of potential, who had been made to feel less than, simply because someone else couldn't see her worth. "I don't know you, but," Lucas hesitated, as if the words were caught in his throat. "You deserve better. You deserve someone who will see you for who you are, not just as a bride or a failure. You're not unwanted. Not by anyone who matters." She looked up at him, her eyes filled with a mix of confusion and hope. "But how can you say that? You don't even know me." Lucas smiled, a soft but sincere smile. "I'm a father. And I know how it feels to fight for the people you love. You just need to fight for yourself. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not enough." There was a long pause between them. Then, something unexpected happened. A glimmer of realization seemed to spark in her eyes. She wiped away the last of her tears, and for the first time, she allowed herself to smile, a tentative, fragile smile, but a smile nonetheless. "I don't know why you're being so kind to me," she said quietly. "But thank you. You've given me a little hope." Lucas stood up, offering her his hand. "You don't have to thank me. But if you want, I can help you get home. Or maybe, I don't know, get some coffee? Talk about it?" The woman stared at his hand for a long moment. Lucas could feel the weight of her uncertainty, the fear that was holding her back. But then, slowly, she took his hand. "I think I'd like that." They walked together, side by side, into the station's bustling crowd. They didn't speak much, but there was a quiet understanding between them, a connection that neither of them had expected but both needed. As they reached the cafe, Lucas found himself smiling. He hadn't planned on helping a stranger today, and yet here he was, doing just that. Over coffee, the woman, whose name was Emma, began to share her story. She had always dreamed of a perfect wedding, of a fairy tale. But the man she thought she loved had shattered that dream. As they spoke, Lucas found himself listening not just with his ears, but with his heart. He could sense her pain, her confusion, but more than that, he could sense the person she still was beneath the tears, the strong, capable woman who deserved more than what she had been given. By the time they finished their coffee, something had changed in both of them. Emma wasn't just a woman abandoned at the altar anymore. She was someone who had fought through heartbreak and was ready to find her own path again. And as for Lucas? He realized that kindness wasn't just about helping someone else, it was about recognizing that we're all in this together, all looking for a little light in a world that often seems dark. Before they parted ways, Emma turned to Lucas. "I don't know how to thank you for today. I was ready to give up. But you showed me something I didn't expect, hope." Lucas smiled. "You don't need to thank me. You just need to remember that you are enough, Emma." As he watched her walk away, something inside Lucas stirred a deeper understanding of the power of connection, of showing up for someone when they least expect it. And then, just as he was about to leave, Emma turned back to him, her face lit with an idea. "Lucas, this may sound crazy, but what if we didn't stop here? What if we gave each other a chance, not just for a coffee, but something more?" Lucas blinked, stunned by the suggestion. The world had thrown unexpected curveballs at him, this being the most surprising of all. But as he looked at Emma, he realized that sometimes, life presented opportunities in the most unlikely places. Without hesitation, he nodded. "Maybe, we could start fresh together." And that day, against all odds, Lucas married Emma. They didn't have the fairy tale wedding, but they had something better, an unspoken promise to face whatever came next together, one step at a time. Their love wasn't born out of perfection, but from the realization that sometimes, the most unexpected moments lead to the most beautiful new beginnings. The end.